Hello Internet friends. In this video I'm going to rivet together the bulkheads. I think this is the 1407 or 1408. I'm not looking at the plans, but they're easy to mix up because they're the same shape and they're right next to each other. So anyway, it's one of those, and I'm riveting it together. And actually, there's only a couple of rivets that go into this bulkhead because we need to save some space for some stuff later. So yeah, just a few bulkheads go in here, or rivets go into this bulkhead. And again, like I said, there's another bulkhead right behind it that is the exact-ish same shape. So there we go. And then after these bulkheads get riveted together, then we're going to rivet the battery angles to the bulkhead box. What is that thing called? Now that's going to bother me. Now I'm going to go look it up. That thing is called the bell crank ribs. That's what it's called. Bell crank ribs. So I ran into a problem in that past weekend I worked a lot on the plane, and now I'm so far ahead that I have so many videos. I'm running out of things to talk about. Like, how many different things can I actually talk about every day? I'm just a normal dude. I can only talk about like one thing, which is airplanes. And then what else do I talk about? Work? Who wants to talk about work when you could talk about airplanes? So yeah, we could do that. Let's talk about airplanes. So recently I got in a discussion of kit planes, and I'll just share my thoughts after being halfway done. Halfway might be really optimistic. I'm going to say a quarter done? Maybe I'm a quarter done. That's probably generous with this plane. Yeah, I just have some thoughts on kit planes. So I've read the plans to the 8. I've read the plans to the 10, the Vans RV-8 and the Vans RV-10. And the 10 doesn't seem any harder than this, other than all the fiberglass work for the canopy. And the 8 has a bunch of match drilling that you have to do, and it's not a step-by-step instruction set like the 14 is. The 14 literally says do this, then do this, then do this, then do this, and there's a graphic that shows you exactly what to do. The 8 is not that. The 8 has like a paragraph of like, here's all the things you gotta do, and then you do this, and then you do this, and then there's like a graphic that like lists all the parts and kind of shows how they plug in together, but it's not step by step in the graphic for each step like the 14. So now that I've done this, like, I understand what the 8 plans are talking about. So I'm pretty sure I could get the parts for the 8 and figure it out. But without having done this, I don't know that I would have figured out the 8 as well if I had chosen to do that. So level of difficulty, I would rate RV-14, RV-10, RV-8. But that's if you're talking about RVs. So that there are other, and Vans, plug your ears. There are other kits out there that are interesting to me. Mostly because my primary mission is cross country, right? So the 14 and the 8 are probably the fastest that Vans has, but they're really like 200 knots. Maybe the 8 can do like 210, 220, right? Which actually doesn't seem that bad. But I'm going to the Dark Arrow composite class, which one of the benefits is I'll get to see the Dark Arrow up close, which that's really interesting to me because it's super light. And well, they haven't flown it yet, but their spec is 240 knots. So I'm curious to see if it actually does that. If it actually does that, I'll be super impressed. And maybe that'll be the next plane I build. Maybe. I don't think it's aerobatic. So I haven't flown any aerobatics. So I don't know how fun that actually is or not. So we'll see once I get this plane together. So anyway, the other plane that I have my eye on is the Glasair Sportsman, because I really want a diesel engine. I'm pretty sure I've already talked about this in the video, but I'd really love to be able to just grab some diesel and throw it in there and just fly wherever. South America, North America, Alaska, Africa, right? You could just get some diesel anywhere and throw it in there and your plane will run. So that's really interesting to me. And the plane that does that is the Glasair Sportsman. So that they have an option to use Continental diesel. Now you can buy a Diamond that does that, but I will never own a certified plane ever again. Unless I win the lottery. If I win the lottery, then all bets are off, because I already made my bet and I won and I have the money, and so I'll just get the plane I want, all the planes, and then one of each, and then pay someone to do that. And then I could actually just take a couple years off, get my A&P, and then have the same benefit that I have now of being able to do all this stuff. So anyway, if you're still listening, come chat RVs with us. Our Slack group lets us post stuff like the Wall of Shame and other things. Link is in the description. See you in the next video.